standing on behalf of Voyage AI. I hope you can all hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just leave a notification or something, just for me to be sure you can hear me. Awesome. 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 Okay, so I'm standing on behalf of Voyage AI, right? And this team has they've caught my attention because of the professionalism, the skill set, and what they have in store for us, right? And I'll just be guiding us through all that in this session. Okay, so let me, right. So let's proceed. So basically, Voyage AI, or should I say like every other um, data analytics institution out there, right? The primary goal is to arm you with data skills, right? But unlike every other data analytics institution out there, what do we actually do in Voyage AI Academy? So the first thing we do is we try to make real impact, right? So, okay, let me just move on to this. So we try to make real impact, and we tackle real world problems, and we believe that the first thing, we believe that everything is possible, basically. And not just that everything is possible, but everyone is capable of making a difference or a change. Okay. So there's a type of framework that is being used in the academy, right? Is similar to the framework. So for many of us that know Dani Analytics, right, is similar to the framework at Dani Analytics, and it's just the CCAA framework. So when we begin this entire journey, we'll come to understand that there's a type of phase, or there's something called the data analytics life cycle. So instead of getting all that long bunch of text into your head, right, what we've done is to shorten this into a 4-step process, which is clarify, collect, analyze, and apply. For many of us will be familiar with these steps, right? Why we're using the same steps is because over time it has been believed that, okay, my type of approach is very simple and much easy for people launching into the field to actually understand. For some of us that were with, I think sometime in 2022, that were with me during the whole learning, and I was kind of mentoring them, showing them the hoops, how to take the steps, you'll be familiar with the CCAA framework. Why for us that are just coming new into the session, it's not something that you cannot get around. It's a very simple process, right? So the data analytics process consists of 6 steps, but the CCAA framework consists of 4 steps that encompasses those 6 steps in the data analytics lifecycle. So I'm sure it will be easy for us to understand anything like CCAA, or collect, clarify, analyze, and apply, than understanding business, understanding data collection. Those steps are long. So what we've done is to take those long steps and bring them into 4 different short steps. Okay. So what is the framework all about? So when we talked about clarify is simply when you're trying to make something clear. I'm sure most of us will be familiar with the word clarify, right? It's simply making something clear. And what do we actually seek to make clear? We seek to make the problem statement clear. And how do we make the problem statement clear? By bringing it in the form of a story, which is called storytelling. And how do we tell stories? Through communication. Okay. So after making the problem statement clear, in the course of this entire program, you're going to be understanding what the problem statement is. So every single word that is being used here is going to be broken down into simpler steps for you when the program starts. Okay. So what is collect? Collect is simply collecting data In this stage, we collect data, right? But we need to understand the problem to have a better understanding of what type of data we need to collect. Okay, and what do we use in collecting data? We put data in databases. So database might come in a different format. We'll be learning on-premise database, cloud database, and also for some of us that might find this familiar, SQL databases. Okay, and for us to make this easy, we would also be learning how to clean our data, right? This is something some of us are also familiar. For those of us that are taking the advanced courses, you're already familiar with data cleaning, okay? Then after doing that, we also want to analyze our data, okay? This is where most of us want to jump right into, right? Data analytics, analyzing of data, okay? But for us to actually analyze data, we need to ask the right questions. And we need to use languages. It could be Python, it could be SQL, or whatever the case may be, to actually analyze this data. And after analyzing our data, we want to provide insights. Okay. Without insights, you've not actually done anything in the world of data analytics, right? You need to be able to give insights from the data on the information that you have, right? So after doing that, we want to now apply our insights to solve a problem. You are not called a data analyst until you've solved the problem, right? Solving a problem is what actually makes you a data analyst, right? So what is involved in applying or applying the problem-solving framework? We have project management, we have version control, and also delivering a real-world solution. For data analysts, delivering a real-world solution can come in the form of publishing a dashboard that actually provide insights to the stakeholders. For data scientists, it might come in the form of, for data scientists and machine learning scientists, it might come in the form of building an algorithm that actually works inside an application, right? We're going to be learning all that. For the advanced courses, you guys will be coming in contact with machine learning, right? Understanding what's providing a real world solution is all about. So let us now understand what clarify means in its sense, right? Um, in the section of clarify, we're going to be looking at the concepts that we're going to cover. The first one is why, what, and how. These three questions are involved in crafting a good problem statement, right? And we are also going to be understanding why we need to visualize data and the 10 rules for data visualization. So for everything, there are rules guiding them, and data visualization is not left out. So we are going to understand the rules for effective data visualization. Then we'll move on to collect. So what is collect all about? We are going to understand that in data analytics, collecting data is actually part of the central part. So without data, you can't actually analyze anything, right? So which is why collecting data is very, very important in the world of data analytics. And we're going to understand the misconception of flawless data. People often say that your data needs to be perfect, but we're going to understand if that's true or not. Then we're going to go into the world of actually handling the data, which is cleaning, storing data, making changes to existing data, data preparation, extracting data from other sources, and working with data in the cloud, right? There are different ways we can work with data on our laptop by installing a particular software, or we can work with that in the cloud. We're going to understand all these concepts when the program officially starts. Then we'll jump into analyze. So what is analyze in the problem-solving framework? Okay. Simply, we're going to be understanding what statistics is all about. Okay, I'm sure some of you have heard about mean, median, mode, standard deviation at some point, whether when you were learning the basics of data analytics or when you were in the university or when you were in secondary school. It works that way. We're also going to understand what hypothesis testing is all about, right? And how we can analyze data using Power BI, forecast data using Power BI. We're going to learn how to work with Python for the advanced course, and also learn how to work with SQL for both the basic and advanced courses. Okay, then moving forward, we want to now talk about apply. How do we apply solutions, right? We want to learn how to provide solutions to stakeholders as a data analyst, and also recommendations to solve pressing business problems. We're going to learn how to publish a dashboard and understand the basics and usage of machine learning. Okay, we also want to learn what project management is all about. We want to know version control with GitHub. I'm sure most of you have heard about GitHub. We're going to learn how to do version control with GitHub. And also, you have to learn how to work as a team. Your world as a data analyst isn't complete until you learn how to work as a team, because you find yourself in the midst of probably an AI engineer or a machine learning scientist. So you need to learn how to work as a team, to and fro in solving a particular problem. Okay, so what are the tools we are going to be using? We're going to be using Power BI, MySQL, SQL Server. Most of these things might sound strange to you, but it's something you're going to get used to. Learn how to use Python, Google Sheets, Excel, Google Slides, and also GitHub. And also, you're also going to be using Trello for project management. You're going to come in contact with other tools that are suitable for project management. But as time goes on, you realize that nothing is really as difficult as it seems. Okay. So let's now talk about your facilitators. Okay, so for your facilitators, we are going to be having, you're going to be having Joseph and Godwin. So for some of us who might be familiar with Joseph, so don't mind that Joseph's picture is not there. He said he doesn't want his picture to be there, right? People have humility. So Joseph and Godwin are going to be your facilitators for this entire program, and I myself, right? So Joseph is a master data scientist. You can check him out on LinkedIn or Google, anything works. And Godwin Yusuf is also a senior data analyst. And I myself, most of you are familiar with me, right? So I might not really be your facilitator, but I'll be there to guide you throughout the entire step, right? You might find out that you are communicating with me every week to actually know how your progress is going and how we can help you when you find yourself in a particular roadblock. Okay. And what's next after learning? Because I'm sure that everywhere you've seen, or every data analytics institution you've seen, they all talk about the skills, learning a particular skill. Okay. After learning all these skills or learning everything, Python, SQL, Power BI, Excel, working with the cloud, and every other thing, you are going to be learning how to tackle real world projects, right? Tackling real world projects is very important for your experience as a data analyst, right? It helps you develop those skills that you've learned, or those tools that you've learned how to use. Then after tackling the projects, the next thing you want to do is building a portfolio, right? This is where I come into play. Okay, so I might not be your facilitator in the day-to-day learning, but one thing you're going to find out is that I'm going to actually teach you how to build a portfolio for you to actually boost as a data analyst. And in building this portfolio, you will not just be learning the conventional skills as a data analyst, you're going to also be learning HTML, CSS, and a little or a sprinkle of JavaScript, because that's actually needed to build a portfolio website, right? So this portfolio is like a website that would contain your entire projects, all the projects you've done, both inside the academy and as time goes on outside the academy. So it's not just for the academy usage, right? It's something you're going to be using throughout your lifetime as a data analyst. Then we also are going to learn how to freelance. Okay. For some people are lucky to get a job first before getting a freelance gig, while some people get freelance gigs before even getting a job. And some other people are comfortable working as a freelancer. All right. So you're going to be learning how to work as a freelancer. Who is a freelancer? A freelancer is simply someone that is not employed by any company, but works for different companies. So you can be working for 6 different companies at once as a freelancer, but you are not actually tied to any company under a contract or a professional contract. Okay. Or like the word people say, employed. You are not really employed. Okay. So that's a freelancer. So most people have derived their joy working as a freelancer. And if you ask me, I love freelancing than actually working as or as an employee. Okay. So if freelancing is not the route you want to go with, you might want to go getting a job, right? And that's not just, we don't just leave you to just start applying, right? There are ways or skills or techniques we believe that when people apply, it's easy for them to actually get a job. Okay. So for the average rate, like a freelancer makes either on Upwork or LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn is also a freelancing platform, but most people don't know that. So the average rate is $20 per hour, $160 per day, or $4,000 per month. So the project you're handling might be a day's project or just a few hours project. You find out that you've made $80 or $60 in 3 hours, $80 in 4 hours. Or it might be a day's project. You find out that you're making $160 just for one day's work. And I think that's over 300,000, right? Or you find out that you are making $4,800 per month, depending on the type of project you're working with or you're working on. Okay. So who are we going to be learning from in the course of this program or after the program? Because freelancing, getting a job, someone has to teach you. So who are we actually going to be learning from? Right? That is where our secret weapon comes into play. I'm sure some of you are familiar with Alex the Analyst. Some of you might be familiar with Messiah Ekaite. Some of you might really not be familiar with Gedre, right? So Messiah is someone I've known for, I think, a year. So I got one of his freelancing course. I wanted to know what he actually does while we're preparing this entire master course for Voyage AI Academy. So Messiah is a top-rated freelancer on Upwork. And what he's going to be doing is, after the program, he's going to be guiding us on secret steps you can use to actually land a role as a freelancer when pitching on Upwork, right? According to his statistics, for every 10 pitches he does on Upwork, he gets 9 of them, right? And I've been able to try out some of the things he does on Upwork, actually on LinkedIn, and I found out that those his pitching framework actually work. So I'm like, what's the use of trying it only for myself when we can actually bring him to be someone that can actually help us in this journey? Then Gedre is a global talent acquisition partner with Rootstock Labs in Spain. So Rootstock Labs is actually like a platform, right, for Bitcoin. They actually help power Bitcoin usage all around the world. So Gedre is like a global talent acquisition partner with them. And what she'll be doing is she's going to be guiding us on awesome steps you can use that are actually almost foolproof, that you can use to land a job, how to tailor your resume, how to actually position yourself in the interview, right, to actually land a job as a data analyst. And Alex the Analyst, I'm sure some of you already know Alex the Analyst. So Alex the Analyst replied my mail yesterday, finally, after months and months of texting him. So, and what he assured us is that he's going to be present in one of our sessions to actually talk to you guys and debug the misconception that most data analysts have or most people have why jumping into the world of data analyst or data analytics, right? So Alex, the analyst, is going to be guiding us on 1 or 2 sessions. I'm not sure, depending on his availability, on what we should be doing and the best things we should do to actually become the data analysts that we want to be. And that brings us to the end of today's session. So now that you've gotten all the information you need from today's session, the next thing is to actually begin. So the world of data analytics might prove to be a little bit tough, right? But one thing, I'm a living proof. One thing I've learned so far is that once you put your mind to it, it becomes easy, right? If you've not fully accepted that this is what you want to do, you find out that you are going forward and backward all the time. You've not really made up your mind. But once you've made up your mind that this is what you want to do, when it gets difficult, right? Difficult in the sense that learning that particular skill, okay? When it gets difficult, it becomes easy for you to follow through because throughout the entire program, there will be people to guide you, right? People like Joseph, people like Godwin, and people like myself. Okay, so I'm going to open the floor for Godwin Yusuf, right? So Godwin Yusuf has 1 or 2 things to share with us. So Godwin.
Thank you, Daniel. Good evening, everybody. Where do I start from? First thing, I'm super excited to have everyone here. It's going to be exciting. And I am going to share a little story about myself and how I became a data analyst. I was just like you some few months ago, and this was my only option. I wanted to go into data, and that was the only thing I was focused on. With relentlessness and commitment, I pushed myself beyond limits, and in less than a year, I was able to secure a role. Now, there's a whole lot of backstory behind that, but what I want to share with you all today is that not everybody do get this kind of opportunity. I had one and I took it. And since then, my life has dramatically changed. Not everyone gets the opportunity where you're getting so much knowledge, so much experience, so much intense coaching. I never got the opportunity to have Alex the analyst. I actually watched him when coming up. I never got the opportunity to meet some of these guys. I just heard them or I saw their YouTube videos, but you have been privileged to actually have these people come here. So I think this is one of the few unique platforms you get such kind of experience and recognition. And wherever it is, as Daniel said earlier on, we're here to guide you, we're here to coach you. I really believe that being part of this program will not just only give you the skills, but it will redefine how you think, it will redefine opportunities coming to you, redefine how you see the world in general, because it exposed me to the international community, and that just changed how I spoke, how I wrote my SQL codes, how I even delivered my project, how I communicated with people. So it's an opportunity I would love everyone to take advantage of, and I want you to just try it out and give yourself a little time and see how things will dramatically change for you. I think these are good courses, good skills that are universal. Like data analysis, like I tell people, there is no industry, absolutely no industry, be it health, finance, commerce, manufacturing, even automobile. There is no industry as a data analyst you cannot work. Absolutely none. I've worked with NGO companies. I've worked in the health sector. I've worked in the production sector. I've freelanced for the telecom sector. There's no bounds when you're a data analyst. Domain knowledge comes into play, but the fundamental building blocks is what we're giving you, and with that, you can actually pivot to any industry and take on any challenge. I will be here with you guys every step of the way, on and off the screen. I'll be providing support, and I want you all to take this opportunity and just grab it with full hands and let's win. Let's get started. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I think one thing Godwin even forgot to mention is he actually reached out to me on Instagram, right? And he told me, this was when he has not even started, right? But he already made up his mind that he wanted to be a data analyst. So he reached out to me on Instagram and told me, okay, this is what I want to do. And I told him, okay, come on board. So I think this was sometime I can't
2022.
remember, 2022, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he reached out to me 2022, told me he wanted to be a data analyst, that I should help in his journey. And I was like, okay, that it's even though I want to help, he also has to help, he has to be ready to take that move. And the rest is history. So there was this day I think I just got up from the bed, and he sent me a text that he got a job. And I think that was the most exciting day of that week for me, right? And there's this other person, he's not here today, Bolaji, right? For some of us here might remember Bolaji, I don't know. But Bolaji also took that decision. I think I don't know if Bumi is here. Bumi might remember Bolaji, right? Bolaji took that decision, and currently he has a job as a data analyst. When I say well, I put it in capital letters. A well-paying job as a data analyst, right? And this is someone that used to wish he could get a job as a data analyst, right? Now that wish became true. He now has a job as a data analyst. So, guys, I know sometimes making a new change is scary, right? For every single day of my life, learning something new in the world of tech is still scary for me, right? First of all, it was being a data analyst, data scientist. Secondly, it's went to being a web developer, right? Because I needed to deploy my models. I needed to learn web development. Next, it's now went to being a WordPress web designer. These are new steps that were very scary for me, but when I was doing them, I realized that it was not really as difficult as it seems. It's just because I had not done it before. I'm currently digital marketing. Very scary, but I realized that it's not really as difficult as it seems or as people put it to be. It's just because you've not done it before, right? So we're going to open the floor for questions now. If anybody has questions, now will be the time to actually okay, Joseph. Yeah, oh, Joseph is around. Joseph is around. Okay, let me open the floor for Joseph to come in and talk to us.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My sincere apologies for coming in this time. Um, a lot has been happening around my environment lately. If you can hear the background now, it's a bit noisy. There's a party going on. And sorry, I also joined a bit late because I was trying to catch up with a few things. So my name is Joseph Arome Idajili, and I'm currently working as a data analyst with an immigration investment firm. One of my colleagues is here actually. And my journey started back in 2021 June. I was thinking about delving into tech after trying forex for a while, and being unsuccessful. I started self-learning, and then until somewhere around December, I joined a training academy in South Africa, and we had to learn remotely. That's where I met Daniel, and Daniel has been an amazing partner to work with ever since. Sometimes I even forget to reach out to him, but he still reaches out, and we do a lot of things together. I even learn a lot from him as well. So, coming up with this idea that we need to pass across what we've learned, the experience we've gained, it has been a wonderful idea that we've been pushing since about 2 years now. Finally, it's beginning to take shape. And be rest assured, Daniel is someone who is his energy never fades. Like he's always full of energy, always full of ideas, innovative, you know, ideas that are not just ideas in themselves, but when implemented, the value that it will bring will be, I mean, it's really, really amazing. And also, he's a very good person when it comes to networking. Imagine getting to reach out to Alex the analyst. My God, that's a gold medal for you, Daniel. Kudos, bro. So, in these sessions that we'll be having very soon, we'll be bringing not just theoretical knowledge or what we have learned from other people. We'll also bring on board experiences. I mean, you are not just learning data analysis or data analytics. The whole infrastructure and the foundations, every facility that needs to be in place for you to be a competent data analyst is what you will learn from us. I have, at least now, I have like 3 years of experience in the field of data, and it's really significant for me because I have been thrown into a new environment, and there is nothing that is related to data analytics that I know of. But because of my knowledge and experience, I'm able to understand the needs, and then I'm implementing the infrastructure, all of the facilities that is required to become, I mean, to have that analytics system for the company that I'm working with, right? So if you are not really experienced in this and you are employed in an environment or into a firm where there's no infrastructure for data, you might just be confused. But because you're going to go through this course or this training with us, will help you to understand all of those needs when you come to an environment where there is nothing as nothing that looks like data there. You should be able to build one. Okay, and that is an extremely good value for you. That beyond creating a dashboard and turning out insights and recommendations, you also know the back end of it. You know what's going behind all of the dashboards that you're creating. You know what's going on behind all of the data that you're collecting, and you'll be able to make competent, relevant recommendation that can be implemented and bring value for whoever you'll be working with, whether as a freelancer or as an employee. So it will be a wonderful time with us, and looking forward to meet all of you as well as meeting Mr. Alex as well. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Joseph. Okay, so I'm sure some of you might have questions on what are the days for these sessions, what are the days for classes and all that. Okay, so we've come to a realization that most of us might be working class. That means we have 9 to 5 jobs. Some of us might be working from home, even though we have jobs, we are still working from home, right? Or some of us might be business people. It's very understandable. Okay, so days for the classes or the sessions are Fridays and Saturdays. This is because we understand that Friday is like the end of the weekday, okay? And Saturdays, most of us will actually be available for our sessions. And these sessions will be towards the evening, right? So that no session is going on when people are at work, right? And no session is going on when probably way late in the night, right? When people are sleeping. So we have our sessions towards 6 p.m. in the evening. And these sessions are not really time bound, but because of educational policy, right, we want to put a 2-hour cap to each sessions, but sometimes these sessions might go beyond 2 hours, not because of, maybe because of some particular or peculiar reasons. Okay, so sessions will be Fridays and Saturdays towards 6 o'clock in the evening. You are going to be sent a mail, and more information will be dropped in the group. So it's just like a basic announcement, right? So sessions will be Fridays, Saturdays. towards 6 in the evening, and there's no time cap, but because of learning policy, we want to put it at 2 hours, right? And I don't know if I'm forgetting any other thing. And yeah, so each sessions is going to be recorded. So in case probably for whatsoever reason you were not around or you missed the session, or maybe you want to get a very good recap on the session because you did not understand some particular terms, each session is going to be recorded. And we are currently working on having a platform, right? A web platform where everyone can go and drop their questions, right? And also for you to track your learning. That's currently in maintenance right now as we speak. Okay, but sessions are going to be held Fridays, Saturdays, and for the advanced and basic classes, your sessions will still be held Fridays, Saturdays, but different meeting rooms. Okay, different meeting rooms, right? So I'm going to leave the floor for questions if you have any questions, and I'll let you guys ask those questions. Well, I think I must have answered most of the questions, right? But if you have any questions, you can ask your questions.
Hi, Daniel. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, Chikaze.
Yeah, sorry, it's not really a question. I had the impression that the class would be for later than 6 p.m. I don't know. I don't know why I had that impression. I had it in mind it was going to be 8 p.m. Yeah, I don't know how that is going to work. Is there a chance that we are going to have a slight shift just to accommodate those of us that finish quite late?
Okay, I think that can be discussed later on because it's meant to be a consensus between you and your colleagues.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why I just said 6 p.m. is because we don't want a session to be holding when people are sleeping.
Okay.
Right. So my own bedtime is mostly 9 p.m. So I don't know if other people are like that. Right. But there will be a consensus between you and your colleagues to see how that can work out. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, Martha, your hand is up. Do you have a question? Okay, guys. So if there are no questions, and we'd like to call it a day, so more information is going to be dropped on the group, right? And for the payment plan, for the payment, I think payment can be done instrumentally, right? For those of us that want to pay instrumentally, it's fine. Payment can be done in 2 installments or once, right? And trust me, the cost of the entire program, I think it costs people. Let me try to remember what was in his last tweet. I think it costs people over $1,000 or something, $1,200 to actually book a consultation with Alex the analyst, but you are getting it for free. Right, it actually costs people a lot to work with a recruiter sometimes because they want to see what they can benefit from you while you are getting a job most times, right? But this time you're getting it for free, and access to Messiah's freelancing course, right? I think it costs now probably 45,000 or 47. I'm not sure. It's been a while, right? But you are getting all that knowledge for free, right? And the basic course costs 100,000. The advanced course costs 150,000, right? But for those of us that had a run through with Daniel Analytics, right? This was a while back, right? There's going to be a cut down discount for you, which has been discussed, right? There's going to be a cut down discount for you. So basic cost costs 100,000, can be paid in 2 installments. Advanced cost costs 150,000, can be paid in 2 installments. And at the end of the course, definitely you're going to be getting a certificate. But most importantly, this is like the highlight of it all. Most importantly, you would be getting access to all these guys, right? And yeah. So do we still have any question? Anybody that's open to ask a question? Okay, Nafisat.
Yeah, good afternoon. Please, when are
Yeah.
we starting free, like fully free? Because I don't know, this thing is kind of.
Okay, so session starts next week, right? Next week session starts, and the course outline will be shared in the group today or Monday, right? Let's assume Sundays nobody work, right? So today and Monday, your course outline will be started. The kind of softwares you need to download on your laptop or your PC or your machine will be sent to you, right? For both basic and advanced courses. Okay, it will be different. I think it's going to be different for basic and different for advanced courses. So, but I think foundations, for the basic, foundations is what you guys will be learning because it's quite important. Foundations come first in your course outline, then followed by every other tool. So I will be the one discussing the foundational concept with you for the first 2 sessions, right? While subsequent sessions, you're going to be having more technical discussions and classes or sessions with your facilitators. Then for the advanced classes, it's mostly technical, right? You guys probably have foundational knowledge, right? So mostly technical, mostly practical from the first day up to the last day, right? So I hope I answered your question, Officer. All right. So, and thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for the time spent here today. The recording of this session is going to be available in case we have you want to go through it again or you want to see some faces again. The recorded file of this session is going to be available for everybody. And thank you guys for your time, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.